Good afternoon, friends and family. Today we are talking about a car that a lot of you have been asking me about, and that is the 2017 Corvette Grand Sport. Now, if you remember, back when I was trading in my Hellcat and looking for a new car, I considered a Grand Sport before obviously I bought a Z06. And my reasoning for liking the Grand Sport was this. Number one, it has all the looks of the Z06, looks good. And when you see one next to a regular Corvette, you really understand the fact that the Grand Sport or the Z06 looks a lot better than a regular Corvette. Not that a regular Vette isn't a good looking car, because it is, but the wide body of these two looks really damn good. So that's number one. The other thing was that the entire time that I owned my C7 Corvette, my regular one, I never felt as if that car needed more power. Like, I never felt that that car needed more power. Even when I had the Hellcat, which was obviously a lot faster, I didn't look back and say, man, it would be awesome to have that Corvette with more power. I think it was great as it was. However, after moving into this car, I have to say that I really do enjoy the power, and I think that this platform can handle it. Like, this 650 horsepower never feels out of line, never feels like it's too much to control and handle, and you can always have fun with it. Now, you can't always exploit it on public roads, but you can always have fun with it. It's not too hard to control. So with all that being said, you know, where does that leave me with my feelings of the Grand Sport now that I have this car, the Z06? And the one thing I will say right off the bat is you'd have to be out of your mind. If you're shopping for a Corvette, you'd have to be crazy not to get a Grand Sport, because Chevy did a really good job of keeping the price down. It's hardly any more expensive than a regular Vette. Like, it's only a couple grand more. And if you can afford a $55,000 car, you can afford a $60,000 car, at least I would think. And like I said, in my opinion, the Grand Sport looks a lot better, and you can get some cooler options with it. So I would definitely get a Grand Sport if I was in the market for a Corvette. However, after owning this car, I will say that number one, like I said at the beginning of this video, this car can handle the 650 horsepower. This platform is good for it. It has no problems with that whatsoever. So I think that I would really miss the power. And I have seen some videos of the Grand Sport and a regular Corvette and everything, and I have to say, watching it and feeling it, because I have driven a regular C7 actually after buying this Z06. I have driven another one, and it still felt great and everything, sure, but it does feel really, really slow. And I'm not just like saying this because I own a Z06. I don't really give a shit. It feels like you're towing a truck. Like, it feels so sluggish compared to this car, and never in a million years did I think that I'd ever be saying that a regular Corvette seems slow. But it does after driving this, and I think that that's one thing you'd really miss. Now, if you're like the guy who takes his car to the track every single weekend, you do it all the time, you know, we know that the Z06 has its cooling issues, and maybe for 2017 they finally worked out those issues. We don't know yet. But if you're looking for the ultimate track day car, of course you could wait for the ZR1, and hopefully that one's the car you're looking for. But, you know, I think maybe the Grand Sport would be the car for you. Other than that, you know, unless budget is really the only thing you can worry about, like you really just have to keep the budget at 65 or less, I think you should go with the Z06. Because if you buy a Grand Sport, I mean, don't you feel in some ways that it's just a fake Z06? I mean, in some ways, isn't that sort of what it is? I mean, it looks like a Z06, but it's not. It's supposed to look like that. And as a Z06 buyer, I'm not this type of person. I really don't care. I don't feel like the Grand Sport is stepping on my toes or whatever, but I'm sure a lot of owners do feel that way. Now, here's a couple of good things they did. They did not give it the Corvette Z06 clear taillights. The hood vent is different. The side blades are a little bit different, so it is different. And the Grand Sport, the new one, also has the old Z06 and Grand Sport Cup Edition wheels, the Cup 2 wheels, which I love, by the way. So I do love those wheels, even though they're a carryover from the C6 generation. So it has different wheels too. But, you know, I still think in some ways it's just kind of like a look-alike Z06. And if I was out driving on the road in my Grand Sport, I'd see a Z06 and be like, well, kind of wish I had that, you know, the V6 Mustang syndrome. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the new Grand Sport. Again, having owned both, you know, a Z06 now, of course, and I did own a regular Corvette, which was not a Grand Sport, but it's the same car, just without the Z06 body, same deal. And I have to say, you know, once again, unless money is your issue, like you can't afford the extra 15, 20 grand or whatever, I think you should get the Z06, and that's my opinion. I really do think that it's worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day.